Hello guitar players and welcome to the Indian Classical Guitar Academy. My name is Jack Jennings. In this video I'd like to share with you something that I've created for a Raag Malkauns exercise. Raag Malkauns is a very interesting, very moody devotional rag that's normally played around midnight. It's a real highlight of a whole evening of classical music. Traditionally you would have these all-night concerts and Raag Malkauns would be a real highlight right around midnight. So what I've done here is I've taken a composition in Vilambit Tintar, which is the slow 16-beat cycle, and this composition was taught to me by my first sitar teacher, Donav Sanfei. It's a really beautiful composition. And then I've applied some different practice concepts that my guru Roopa Panesar has taught me, and these are very strategic ways of learning how to play in Tishra Jati, which is triplet time. So there's a very particular way that sitar players use triplet time and then start to multiply that, so starting with 3 notes per beat and then 6 notes per beat and then doubling that again to 12 notes a beat, and essentially playing much faster rhythmic phrases over the slow tabla cycle. So you've got this real contrast of the fast playing against the expansive slow rhythmic cycle. So it's a challenging thing to do, to keep your orientation against the beat and keep that feeling steady and flowing, and keep it very articulate. And it's something that's it's a challenging thing to do. So I've been working on this pretty hard for the last few weeks to try to present it as best I can. So let's hear the exercise now. It's actually a series of exercises that kind of build up in stages with Gurdain Rayatt on tabla. Let's have a quick listen to this. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoyed that and you could see how it was building up through different stages. First introducing the composition and then starting to go into a kind of simple picking pattern that just gives you the sense of the timing of putting 6 notes per beat and then going on to 12 notes per beat. So just establishing that to begin with. And then you start doubling, playing patterns where you're moving up in 3s but you're playing each note twice, so you get this and that's a good way to start to establish that picking speed and moving melodically through that kind of sequence. but then it keeps on building up, and then you start speeding up the left hand so it's at the same speed as the right hand, as the picking hand. That's where it gets really challenging, and it's quite difficult to just make that flow and feel like it's really locked in time, because when you're doing 12 notes per beat, it's a lot more difficult than doing 4s or doing 8s like we would in normal groupings of 4s and 8s are different to groupings of 3s, 6s and 12s. So yeah, it's an interesting exercise, and this is something that I've been breaking down. There's tablature synchronized with the video for the Academy students, and I've been doing some tutorials to break down the different techniques and how to get the right kind of approach to the picking, and how to slide through the different, when to slide in the different sequences, because when you're doing it on one string, there's a particular method of fingering that you can use combining with slides to make the whole thing flow. So it's been a real pleasure to really get stuck into this and try and break it down as much as I can, and I'm just so grateful to Roopa for showing me this as a kind of practice concept that then you can apply to different rags. And what this really is giving you is actually like a bit of a blueprint for how it might happen within a performance. So it is an exercise, it's very scripted, and it's very clear how it just starts from the bottom and moves all the way up to the top and all the way back down again. So it's kind of predictable like that. But the way that it builds up through different stages and keeps referring back to the main composition, that's kind of simulating how it might appear in a performance. So the idea is that eventually each one of the different stages of the exercise could become a subject for improvisation, and you could take that idea at that particular speed, that particular pattern, and improvise with that, and then have a way to move back into the main composition, and then move on to the next subject and become more complex, and each time you're kind of building the virtuosity into the arc of the performance. So this series of exercises kind of gives you a bit of a blueprint of how that might develop, and this is really what Roopa was showing me in terms of how you start to incorporate that into performance. So this is seen really as the technical part of the Volambit recital, because Volambit is usually starting very slow and playing very detailed, melodic, expansive phrases, but it can also build up and start to become more technical and more fiery and doing faster things in that Volambit cycle. So it's an exciting part of the recital when it builds up to that stage. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and if you'd like to become a member of the Academy, you can access all of these really in-depth lessons breaking everything down, and you can buy in courses individually, or you can subscribe monthly to get all of the courses that I've made, and there's new updates every month. So yeah, come along and check it out, and I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I'll be doing some more clips about Raag Malkauns coming up soon, so subscribe to stay notified, and there's lots more coming soon. If you want to start one of these courses, you can buy them individually, or you can subscribe monthly to access all of them. For subscribers, there will be new content every month, including live streams where we can answer your personal questions and go into more detail about applying this material. So far we've covered Raag Yaman, Raag Bageshri, Jog, Hamsadwani, Kafi and Raag Malkauns, and there's much more to come. This body of work is a culmination of the 18 years experience I have as a guitar teacher, combined with the knowledge acquired through studying the sitar directly, and then adapting that material using the guitar techniques that suit this style best. To create these courses and gather the most authentic material possible, I work closely with other Indian classical musicians such as Manish Pingle and Gurdain Rayatt. I'd like to give a special thanks to my guru Roopa Panesar, who has guided me in the creation of these courses. Much of the material has been adapted directly from my training with her. Also Shakir Khan, my guru, who's been inspiring me immensely and continues to shape how I approach the instrument and this incredible world of Indian classical music. So come and join us at the Indian Classical Guitar Academy to start this journey. The first 50 subscribers will get a reduced price every month for the whole duration of their membership, So come and be one of the first guitar players to realise what it means to be an Indian classical musician.